an NFL Draft Final exclusive.
Why is it so important to reach kids at a young age with that aspect?
Wow. Well, first, for 5 years, we've been trying to figure out who we were as far as a nonprofit. And we came up with the goal that we wanted to put a human being in every single school in America. Start walking the halls of Congress, trying to figure out, how do we break the bureaucracy of, the school system. And we found that it was probably impossible for us to do that and accomplish that goal. So we start searching the valley, and we were looking for something that was scalable, affordable, and accessible for everyone. And we found technology. And it was important for me to make sure our kids are in position to reach their full potential. Because you look at my story, there's a human impairment side of it, where I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and I spent time at McLean Hospital learning tools and skills to be able to cope and manage my emotions and the ebbs and flows of life, the ebbs and flows of the football season. Then on the other side was human performance, where I was playing at a high level and achieving great things. But I truly believe a lot of what I was going through on the other end was holding me back from being the better me. Mm-hmm. So if I had something in school, whether it was a human being or if it was technology, if I had something that could have been preventative and intervened early, I may have not gone through a lot of things that I went through. I'm thankful for it because, it gives me the opportunity to put a voice and a face to it. And that's what we're here to do today. We launched in Chicago a couple years ago, and now we're in New York. We're going to be involved in all 400 schools, PSAL, so the sports programs, and it's telemedicine pretty much of what it is. We're giving our kids opportunity to log into an app on their phone and have access to mental fitness training right there. Things that I do right now to manage going through a season that's very tumultuous. We win one game, we lose another, and the pressure from the media, the pressure from the outside world, the pressure from fans, from fantasy football, it's tough. So just imagine what our kids are going through these days with so much access to the world, with social media and the internet. There's a lot that's being thrown at them, more than what was thrown at me, more than was thrown at you when you were growing up. So our kids need help. It's a really unhealthy world right now, and if we can help them early, we'll be okay.
In terms of helping younger people, I guess not high school age kids, but the Jets obviously just claimed a kid in Austin, Safarian Jenkins, and he's a kid compared to you and all of us here. How do you plan to kind of, and we know what happened, the DUI on Friday, and how do you plan to kind of maybe work him, mentor him, and make sure he fits
I've been
in
talking to Austin for a week now, before this even happened. That's one of the things that I do through Project 375. That's a passion of mine. We talk about being able to prevent and intervene early. I had people in my ear when I was when I got to the NFL that was trying to help me, but they weren't really committed all the way through. And when I see young men across the league that are suffering in silence, I feel like I'm obligated to help. So when I saw what he was going through, I reached out to him. And
after his DUI.
Yeah, correct. And so we've been talking for a while now. I've known of him. Obviously, he's a great talent. And then when we got the opportunity, like when I heard yesterday that we claimed him, I was like, man, this is God sent, because now if he needs me, I'm there, and I've already connected him with the right people in the city that can help him if he needs it. And I think he's a great addition to our team. I'm so glad that we went and got him. Obviously, on the football side, he's going to help us out. But on the personal side, guys need second chances. When you make a mistake, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. You need people to believe in you, and sometimes a fresh start is a good start.
When you talked to him, what was his attitude, and how excited is he for this opportunity?
I will say this: Austin is an awesome guy. He has a lot of energy. He reminds me a lot of me. And one of the things that I talked to him about was like, man, if you need me, I'm here for you. We sat down and We talked about building a plan that will help him, that keep him on the right page and successful. He's not a bad kid, but I think that there's a lot of growth that he can achieve now. In the short term, he was really responsive. He was, and I'll let him talk when you guys get a chance to meet him. But I think we got a great player and a great person, and I think this fresh start is going to really help him out a lot.
Hey, Brandon, playing in Chicago and Miami, will you try and bring this program back to some of your previous stops in the NFL?
Well, it's not. Project 375, we view ourselves as a global organization, and the reason why is because mental illness affects all of us. You look at the cancer community; it's made up of 36 million Americans, and you see the impact that it has on our community. But the mental health community is made up over 120 million Americans personally affected by it. That's just in America. And for every one that's personally affected, 6 or 8 that are also touched. So this thing touches all of us in America, touches all of us in the world, and it's time for us to continue to take this topic that is always had and discussed in the darkness and bring it to light and make it a everyday conversation.
Hey, Brandon, but as a fan, we have mental stress when our team wins or loses. You as a player, does that affect your next day and the way you think about, you win, everybody's happy, but you lose, like you said, you have to deal with a lot of mental stress. Does that weigh on you during the game about how you have to think about it?
I will say this, I love using examples. I had a player, so the app that we're going to give to all the schools in New York, starting with our athletes, so it'll be free for them. I was doing this every day before practice and camp. It's one of the things that I need to do personally. I'm a very high emotion guy, and wear my emotions on my sleeve, and sometimes it could cross the line. Sometimes it may rub people the wrong way, so I need things like this to be able to cope with the stress. But one day was interesting. A guy came up to me and he asked me what I was doing. It was a guy who didn't make our team, and he said, "Man, I've been in the league for 2 years now, and I feel like this is the hardest football has ever been." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I feel like I lose before I get on the field because of all this stuff that's going through my head. Like I have no confidence, my self-esteem is shot, and
coach ain't playing me."
Yeah, it means so much. And I said, the only thing I said to him, I said, "Man, meet me under the tree." I said, "Meet me under the tree 30 minutes before practice." And it was awesome to see how his perspective began to change, and he began to play better. He didn't end up making a team, but that was a guy who wasn't living up to his potential and probably missed the team because he got to this late. So just imagine if he was able to control whatever was going on inside of him before it got to a point where he's in camp and he's struggling mentally, but he's gifted physically and he can make all the plays. So I'm just proud to be able to have this opportunity to be able to give our kids this. And, so the Jets have been awesome, a great partner for us in making this dream come to light. And also LUCID being able to donate and partner with us and create a platform to give the kids the things that I use, Kobe Bryant used, Michael Jordan used to keep us on the right track.
Thank you.
In terms of some of that thought and impulse control you mentioned, in terms of Austin, do you get the sense that he realizes that this may be his last or near last chance if something were to happen again?
I would say this. Well, we don't know if those are his issues. I mean, I had a DUI before, So, and you live and you learn. There's a lot of people that make terrible decisions, but it doesn't make them terrible people. I will say from my interaction with him, he's an amazing guy, and I think that this is a great place for him. It's a very welcoming place, a place where the building is made up of imperfect people. So when we have people to come in with little blemishes like myself, people receive you a little bit better, and they help you out a little bit more. So he's in the best place, and I think he'll be successful. And it doesn't matter if it's his last chance or not. Like, it's life. You make mistakes. You live and you learn. And I think that he's going to take advantage of this opportunity. He's still a kid. He's still young. And I'm glad that we got him.
Brandon, just a football question or two. After the last game, you had said that you thought that the team was being a little too cute in the red zone. What exactly did you mean?
So you always got to start with yourself. So for me, when Chan calls a play and Fitz echoes that play in the huddle, I can't always get to the line of scrimmage and check out of it. I can't always say, okay, he's playing inside leverage, I need to run and go. He's playing outside leverage, I need to run this route. So there was a lot of that going on. And it starts with the guys like myself and Fitz. So we just got to go out there and play ball. We got to play fast instead of trying to be scientists out there all the time. I got to go out there and make the plays no matter what's going on.
Would you like to see you guys commit a little more to running the ball in the red zone?
No, I want to pass the ball. I want the ball.
Well, that didn't work
I'm a
well,
wide receiver. That's a terrible question for a wide receiver.
You guys threw the ball 11 times in the red zone
Yeah.
in Kansas City, and it was. And by the week before in Buffalo, it was 10-3 run pass in the red zone, and you guys I think ran for 43 yards. In the red zone, it's a lot of rushing yards.
I would say this.
Down
Yeah, we definitely have to take advantage of our talent, and it's hard for coaches, man, when you have 3-4 receivers that can make plays, and then you have a back like Matt Forte. So I don't envy Chan Gailey's job. It's a difficult one, and there's only one ball. But I will say that we have a team that we get back and we self-assess, we learn from our mistakes, and we adjust. Sometimes you're going to lose. It's not going to be easy. And we went to Kansas City, we got hit in the mouth, and now we'll adjust and we'll make the right calls. So, whether that's throwing the ball or running the ball, we're going to take advantage of whatever the defense is giving us.
How is your knee feeling?
Yeah.
2 days removed from the game.
Sore.
Is the swelling?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good, but I'm sore. I think half the league right now is sore, but I'm okay. But there's no excuse there.
You'll play Sunday, right?
Yeah, I'll play
Okay.
Sunday.
I figured.
Yeah.
I just meant no.
We don't have to play Corey this week,
No,
right?
I just want to make sure you didn't have any setbacks. Or
Yeah,
anything.
no setbacks. Feel good, but a little sore.
What was it like yesterday coming back after that loss, and what was Coach's message to you guys?
It was terrible. It's terrible. I mean, you only get 16 games. That's what you're promised. So there's a lot riding on each and every game. And like I was saying earlier today on our show, the ebbs and flows of the NFL, it's really high and it's really low. And the teams that are and the players that are able to bounce back are the ones that are able to manage those emotions. And when we lose, we can't hang our heads too low, and when we win, we can't be hanging from the rafters. So it wasn't a great feeling, and it's still not a great feeling. We know what we need to do. We know what we're capable of doing. We're a better team than that, and we just need to show it.
Ryan said that there was a conversation among veterans about what you guys need to do to improve the team, and maybe you were just referring to that. But do you guys? What was some of the content of that? What are the things that the team needs to do to improve? What do the veterans want to do to lead?
Well, I think in any organization, one of the things that we always overlook is being able to sit down and whenever it's good or bad, just to check in with everyone and see where everyone's at. And for us, it was good for us to just check in with each other and encourage each other, to stay focused. It's a long season. It's not always going to be easy, and if we continue just to stick to the process, we'll be okay.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks for coming, man.
The red shirt.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for
All right, no problem.
taking the time to talk.
An NFL Draft Bible exclusive.